Inference Plus Story Short Number 25, Series A. Being a cleaning lady was essentially the same thing as being invisible. All Marissa had to do was pick up a toilet brush and poof, she disappeared. Ta-da! Magic! Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be here all week, or at least until the sheets come out of the dryer. Marissa preferred it when clients ignored her. It was worse when suburban moms with a case of the white guilties tried to connect with her by chatting. Marissa knew they meant well, but the interactions were awkward. She just wanted to listen to her true crime podcast. Invariably, the suburban mom always managed to interrupt right before the big whodunit reveal. She wished she could film a PSA. It's much less dehumanizing when you, the homeowner, give me a polite nod, then allow me to scrub the urine stains from your toilet in peace. Please stop asking about my hopes and dreams in order to feel better about your affluence. The more you know. On the plus side, they tended to be really generous tippers. Marissa knew they did it to make themselves feel better, but who was she to deny them the pleasure of assuaging their guilt? $50 could buy both of them some peace of mind. Win-win. The single work-from-home executives were her favorites. They didn't try to make small talk, they just pretended she wasn't there while they both did their separate jobs. Marissa was a popular house cleaner among this set. She tried to avoid running the vacuum or doing anything else too distracting if she heard them on a call. She always made sure to wait until they were at lunch or the gym to clean their home offices. She left their desks alone without having to be asked, focusing her attention on the rugs, shelves, and other non-work portions of the space. And she made sure she was done as soon as they came back. The office cleaning was less about thoroughness and more about not being a pain in the ass. Apparently, this was a nuance not every house cleaner in the past had grasped. She especially liked cleaning for stock traders. She herself had a BA in finance, and the little tidbits of insider trading she'd picked up on the job had really fattened up her portfolio. Even when some big kerfluffle went down and people went to jail, Marissa was so far removed from any suspicion that her tiny profits went utterly undetected. She was enjoying her new Lexus. It had a much smoother ride than her last one. Philip Clisby was one of her single executive clients. He had a huge house, a huge pool, a huge closet full of huge suits to fit his huge muscular body, and from what she could infer based on his side of the phone calls she could hear shouted through his office door, a huge level of involvement in something white-collar sketchy. Whatever, Marissa didn't care. He lived alone, no pets, house was basically clean already when she walked in every Wednesday, and he consistently tipped $100 every time. From what she'd heard, she was the first cleaning lady he'd kept around for more than a couple of months. She must be doing something right. She suspected what she did right was put her head down, scrub what needed scrubbed, mind her own business, then leave without bothering him. Then one Wednesday, he spoke to her. "Hey, Maria," he called out as she passed by his home office with her caddy of supplies. "Come in here for a second." Of course he thought her name was Maria. Wasn't every Latina who cleaned houses named Maria? That's what most gringos thought. She rolled her eyes, making sure Clisby didn't see the reaction. One of two things was about to go down. One, he was going to fire her like he had all the other cleaners before her, or two, he was going to try to sleep with her. Neither option was particularly appealing. She squared her shoulders and walked into the room. Clisby was seated at his big mahogany desk. He swiveled in his padded leather chair to face her and looked at her appraisingly. Great, option 2 it is. Marissa moved her hand to grasp the spray foam shower cleaner just in case things went beyond trying. "Everything up to your standards, Mr. Clisby?" Marissa asked. "Anything you'd like me to do differently? Special chores you'd like me to do next week? Blinds? Baseboards?" He gazed at her blankly as though she'd just spoken an alien language, then shook his head and laughed. "Christ, no," he said. "The house looks fine. This has nothing to do with your work here. I'm satisfied. Very satisfied." Marissa moved her finger to the trigger of the aerosol can. "Not today, buddy." Clisby's eyes drifted down to her hand, and the can clutched inside it. He laughed again. "Put that stuff down," he said, waving a hand dismissively. "You won't need to spray anything scummy while you're in here. I just want to talk." She set down the caddy, pulled off her rubber gloves with a snap, then crossed her arms across her chest. Clisby seemed amused by this. He gestured to a leather wingback opposite him. Take a seat. I'll stand, thanks. This made Clisby smile again. Keeping a little leverage, I like that. My name's not Maria. He arched an eyebrow. It's Marissa. An easy mistake, he said indifferently. Marissa, then. Marissa got the feeling he had known her name but wanted to see what she'd do if she'd correct him. She leaned back slightly into her back leg and cocked out her hip, a posture that said, let's get on with it. Everything she did seemed to amuse Clisby, and it annoyed her. I see you drive a Lexus, Clisby said. Nice car. I mean, not as nice as a Bugatti, but nice in an unassuming sort of way. She tightened her arms across her chest. Rich boyfriend? She shrugged. Rich husband. I don't know if you know this, Marissa said, voice dripping with sarcasm, but a woman can buy a nice car all by herself with her very own money and everything. He regarded her with more interest now. That's what I wanted to talk about, Clisby said. I noticed that beautiful car, and it made me curious about you. I did a little research. You've got a degree in finance, but you clean houses. You don't say a word while you clean the shit off other people's toilets. You're the first house cleaner I have ever had that I didn't notice at all. I think all that's pretty interesting. A shrug. Seems like you've got a real knack for picking good stocks, he continued, and you always seem to sell at the perfect time every time. Are you clairvoyant? She took a deep breath and let it out loudly. Get to the point. Nah, that's bullshit, he said. But, I see that you clean a lot of houses in this neighborhood. Nice neighborhood, affluent. Lots of hedge fund managers and day traders and stockbrokers. You clean a lot of houses like that, yes? This time his tone demanded an answer. Yes. Smart. Maybe. I like smart people. I like to give them opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities in my line of work. Marissa said nothing. See, this is what I was talking about, Clisby beamed. You're a brick wall, totally discreet. And I have an opportunity for you. Marissa sat down in the wingback chair. He'd gotten her attention. How much? She asked. That's entirely up to you, he replied.